Anyways, guys, I don't know how to express myself. I'm elated. I'm happy. It's awesome that we're here again on another episode of EthicsPod. I remain Ola, the millennial daddy.
Yes, I'm glad you finally accepted that name. And I am Delectable Dami. And here in the studio today, we're so excited. This is our second episode of the year. But what's different about this episode?
Oh, you think I don't know?
What is different about
I'll tell you what is different.
Okay.
This is officially the first woman. I know we've had some ladies, but this is the first. This is the first
woman we are having on the podcast.
Do the honors.
I'm especially excited. I am so happy that we are doing this because all this while we've been having men. I've been feeling alone, but now we are finishing you today. Hope you're ready.
I'm not. The object is not on me. But anyways, introduce yourself.
All right. So I'm Dr. Mary Adehi, a senior lecturer with University of Abuja.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to have you here. So straight away, how was your journey here?
Smooth, interesting, brief.
What did you think you were going to come up with? Do you have any? You're a senior lecturer, so I don't think you have but.
Ask a senior lecturer of what and be wowed.
Oh, statistics.
Yes. Women achieving. I'm so proud today.
That's one of the fields you ran away from. I know. Did you confess to her?
It's a long story.
Anyway, so for viewers, don't forget to like, subscribe, watch us on YouTube, watch us on Instagram, watch us on TikTok.
Follow us on Instagram.
EthicsPod, don't just watch, click, follow, subscribe. Ma, do you do social media?
Oh, sure. It's a digital world.
Really?
Of course.
So which one of the platforms are you most active
social
on?
media.
Instagram.
Ooh,
I thought you were going to say Facebook. I thought you were going to say Facebook. I'll be like, oh my Lord, Facebook. Facebook, because have you ever asked younger ones around you or your kids what they think about people that use Facebook?
I noticed they kind of boycott it. So I believe they're no longer finding it interesting. They're not finding it challenging, and it's no longer communicating the messages they want to communicate. Mm-hmm. So they are more on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're on Insta. We're on X.
They post their businesses there, and it works for them.
Yes. It works.
Excellently.
It works so much.
Yes.
Even though I'm a millennial, but I'm still...
Instagram.
Well, anyways, so... straight into the business of the day because we want to make sure that we're short and sharp.
Good.
Now, you're here not just as a woman, also as a lecturer.
Yep.
But also because we want you to give us insight into some of the problems that plague higher institutions, especially in this aspect of sexual harassment.
Okay.
So, very briefly, we want you to give us an overview of what it is in the most layman terms.
Yes.
I would say sexual harassment will be any reaction towards another person that is sexual and it's with coercion. And probably comes with a bit of threat. And, it's not with the willingness of that person. That would be sexual harassment.
Okay. So, but I have a question. When we say willingness, for example, if somebody says, can we count manipulation as part of it? For example, you manipulated me into saying, okay, yes, let this happen. Maybe a lecturer, since we are talking about tertiary institutions now, maybe a lecturer comes and we are speaking and he says, okay, if you do this with me or if you let me do this, you're going to do so well in this school. And they keep talking about that and I say yes. Does that also count as sexual harassment?
Yeah, that will count as sexual harassment because these children are quite young and they see you as a mentor. They believe the things you tell them. You're supposed to be a formator for them. And if for some reason you get their attention enough to begin to coerce them into doing anything that is sexual, yes, it will be sexual harassment.
Right, right. So now she raised a valid point, and you did as well, and I'm going to like make them meet. We're talking about, there's willingness, so that's consent, right?
Yeah.
There's coercion, which is like an opposite force. Now, when does it become harassment when, let's say, a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, but a 21-year-old who does not have misgivings about that relationship, is that still part of it?
How do you mean?
Do you get my question? Like, okay, a lecturer, but the child, the person who, in quotes, is being harassed, is willingly in the relationship. There's this part where people will say, look, sometimes victims don't even know that they are...
If I understand you well, there is also what we call ulterior motives. So while to the victim is not seeing it as sexual harassment.
Right, exactly.
The person who has an ulterior motive is very mindful of what he or she is doing. And so it is sexual harassment.
Okay. So, but how do we say in cases where, and sometimes, because harassment is not just when the real act happens, it can be from something as light as a touch or inappropriate statements.
Non-verbal.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could be verbal, it could be non-verbal, and all of that. How do we draw the line between, okay, this is inappropriate and this is appropriate, or this is what a lecturer is supposed to be saying to a student or telling a student to do, and this is what they are not supposed to?
Now, you see, the lecturer needs to first and foremost understand what his or her priority is in the academic world. And so by the time you begin to deviate from that into private issues about a student, then you're beginning to journey into something like sexual harassment, knowingly or unknowingly. So it will always be good that you have a focus, much as you should have a kind of cordial relationship with your students. Yeah. You should also know where to draw the line. There are certain issues that you shouldn't be asking students.
Yeah.
Why would you just come to a student, for instance, and say, who is your boyfriend? Who is your girlfriend?
That's very inappropriate.
It's quite inappropriate. Yes. So one should be, if you're a lecturer, you should see yourself first as a mentor, as a formator. And so you should know where to draw the line and actually maintain academic discussions.
Yes. And also on willingness, I want to say something. This is just a personal opinion. I also feel like we cannot really gauge how willing somebody is because you are my lecturer. Yep. I know if I do the wrong thing, I can fail. Yeah. What are the chances of me saying no to you?
Well, I mean, and this is perfect because it's going to lead into what I was about to ask you.
Okay.
So this whole how I don't want to fail and everything. Why is it so difficult? That scenario she painted. Why is it so difficult for a student? I don't want us to generalize and say it's only male lecturers but why is it so difficult for a student who sees these signs? Why is it so difficult for them to read aloud?
Well, it will always also be good to know that it's not only the lecturer that is guilty in a situation of sexual harassment. There are times that the students themselves come with some character from home. And so they could even be interested in the lecturer.
You know why I'm smiling?
That is the truth.
I'm smiling because prior to
we started, argument.
we've been going at it for a week.
And
obviously she comes from this part of don't let's victim blame and everything.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
true.
There's this part where you can't rule out cultural backgrounds, home and everything. And what if a student, he or she comes and decides that this man or this woman?
Yeah, like for instance, during orientation, when they come in as new students, they're told not to move alone.
Right.
They're also told not to go into staff offices alone. Now, there are some students who would actually do that, even after they have been told. So it will now mean that such a student may also have an ulterior motive. And that is why where you have a situation of sexual harassment, let's say it is the student who brings up the issue.
Yes.
You have to be very careful in addressing it so that you can as well be fair to that lecturer. Because in some situations, the guilty person is the student. That happens.
By guilty, you mean, okay, let's say, what
Instigator.
if...
The student
educator
is even
should
the
know
one with the
better.
ulterior motive.
But the
Look,
educator should know better. The
you see-
lecturer should know better. And sometimes, like this orientation you gave an example of, most people enter school 16, 17, 18.
True.
They are still children. So how, let's say, for example, and people will always be deviant.
True.
You say work in groups. You will still see somebody that will go alone to a lecturer's place.
Wrong.
Maybe they may
Perfectly
have...
wrong.
Okay.
Wrong.
Perfectly wrong.
Okay, perfectly wrong doing that. Yes.
Because they've been told during orientation, it is part of the things that students are told.
Yes, but
There
that
are
deviance will
offices
always
of
be
dean
there.
of students
All
affairs.
the aggression you were giving
Yes.
me, bring it out
So
now.
they are
because-
not supposed to go
I know she
alone.
doesn't
No,
want to
I agree
Yeah.
that they're not supposed to go alone. But
Yes.
now, people come from different homes, like what we're talking about, cultural and all of that. And I do. Maybe, truthfully speaking, I'm not going there because I have ulterior motive. I'm just nonchalant to rules. Now, if something happens where the lecturer is inappropriate with me, I think there's a place of us also saying, regardless. It's just like when we say, somebody was sexually harassed, what were you wearing? I
Yeah,
feel
no,
like
but
people
we're
should...
going to come to that.
We are going to, but people should, in that case, there is a power play. That's why it's abuse. Because there's somebody at the upper part which should know better. So yes, somebody comes alone to your office. What happens to, why are you here alone? Please go back. Or how do we, that's what I'm trying to say.
You see, some of these things are spur of the moment processing. Okay? You're sitting in your office comfortably, and a student walks in alone. The first thing that comes to your mind will not be sexual harassment. So that reaction of saying, go out, may not even occur to you.
Right.
But the minute you sense it, if you are not that adult who wants to manipulate a child, then you'll be able to act instantly. Most lecturers will operate the open door approach. You're coming in alone, you say, leave that door open.
Yes.
So that's already putting that student in check.
Right.
Now, parents have a role as well. You see, you have to maintain a kind of cordial relationship with your children, sufficient enough for your children to speak out. So, who are those managing your children in the university? We have, apart from the lecturers, you have your head of department.
Right.
You have your dean of your faculty. You have the dean of student affairs. You have the principal officers in the university. Then you have the vice chancellor. Most vice chancellors operate open door. So which means speaking out is very easy. So where parents maintain a kind of cordial relationship with their children, a child should be able to say, this happened or that happened. And the parent should feel comfortable to walk into any one of these offices to report.
This is an ideal situation.
That is an ideal
That's
situation.
An ideal situation.
Yes. And that's not to say we do not have genuine victims
Right.
that are suffering in silence, where some lecturers have manipulated them, whether male or female. And it happens that they are not speaking out and they are worried about their grades and things continue to go wrong. But again, on the side of the lecturers have to also listen, where you don't have an ulterior motive, so that you can help the victims.
Right.
So the victims here, I mean our students who are, saddled with problems of sexual harassment. So you should be able to listen enough to act, enough to do something, and follow up on things that students have told you. So if a student for any reason comes up to you with a case of sexual harassment, it is your duty as a mentor, as a formator, to look into it and actually see what you can do about it. It's difficult to prove it because it's usually the word of the student against the word of the lecturer. So it's a very difficult one. It's like the case of rape. There are difficult situations to actually conclude on. But you can do something.
Yes, and there are sometimes that I feel some signs also give it away. For example, there was this BBC documentary I watched. It was done like 5 years ago on sex for grades. And in that documentary, when the journalists wanted to conduct the investigation, like, let's find out what this is about 5 students were mentioning one particular person, and which I feel is no coincidence. So sometimes when, as a lecturer, one person comes to you and says, oh, Professor so, another person somewhere, you feel
the
like,
same
okay,
person.
the same person.
Do some sort of investigation.
So in as much as it's the word of the victim, the student against the lecturer, sometimes antecedents which people ignore, like, oh, why are they always trying to, most times it's always looking like, oh, they're trying to set these lecturers up. And whether or not we like it, a lot of this sexual harassment in schools, it happens a lot, ma. Like, a lot. You would see, I had friends when I was in school who had lecturers disturbing them. So, and as much as they're trying to say, oh, it can also be from the lecturer side, it happens a lot.
I literally have an example I was going to share. I mean, I had to ask my friend if I could share. This happened maybe like 10 years ago.
Okay.
So she was staying with her aunt.
Okay.
Her aunt works in the school as a non-academic staff.
Okay.
Senior figure in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of the relationship her aunt has with lecturers, so the student, my friend, is a known person in school. Now, her lecturer started to disturb her. One of her lecturers, he started disturbing her around 200 level, 300 level. And because her aunt is a figure in the school, every time she tries to tell her aunt, because obviously nothing has happened. She's only seeing the signs.
Yes.
So her aunt starts with, don't worry, I'll talk to him. And then one day she's going out and her aunt is like, even you see the skirt you're wearing. Why would they not? Now, the moment her aunt says that, she already felt like
a shell.
The next time anything happens, my aunt is cancelled. I can't tell my aunt.
Yes.
So eventually, one of these days, this lecturer, she's in 400 level, writing her project, and the man is like, I've told you that I would eventually get you. And I've put myself in a position where I'm going to be your supervisor.
Wow.
So he made advances. They were in class. He told her to come to his car, bring some of his stuff to the car, put it in the car. Let's drive from from the lecture hall to my office. Then he drove straight out of the school gate.
With her?
With her.
And why did she get into that car?
Now,
she could say no.
Perfect. So I asked her all these questions, and her answer to me then was, sometimes these things happen so fast and you're so confused at that point. You don't know whether if you say no, you're going to have an extra year. And so the fear was so real that before she knew it, so they're driving and she's like, oh, I'm going to shout. And the man is like, shout now, that who will believe you? That did I say I want to do anything to you? I'm only driving you away. I'm just going home to go and pick one thing. Long story short, because this is a very long story and is quite a nasty one. He took her home, right? Drove into the compound. And I mean, I know you're going to say, why did she come down? But cajoled her to the point where she's inside his house. Went into his room, came back stark naked. She brought out her phone, recorded him, sent the file to one of our friends. And then the main problem started. Because, of course, she eventually got left and everything. Even when her aunt saw the video, her aunt is telling her, you have to delete all the copies. You have to do this because the lecturers are going to gang up against you.
Well, that's so wrong. That was bad advice. And, the student in the first place had no reason entering his car, had no reason being around that professor alone, and had enough reason to speak out. Now, beginning from where the car was to when he got to his house, they must have gone out of a gate
Yes.
She could scream.
But it's not this simple. Though.
Oh, sure, she could.
She could. But
And
it's
then
not
I
that
have already
simple.
told you at the beginning that there are several organs, isn't it, managing the students within the school. She has a head of department. She could speak out to him. She has a dean. She could speak out to him. She could actually walk into the vice chancellor's office. Yes, she could actually walk into the vice chancellor's office to say, I am in trouble. The vice chancellor would definitely leave whatever he or she is doing to attend to such a student.
Ma'am, do you think students do they have the courage to do that?
They need
Yes.
to build that courage.
The courage. And again, this word
They
against
need
each
to
other.
build that courage. You see, and you know why it is such a difficult one. You need to build that courage before you actually get into trouble. Because by the time it is full blown, it's still your word against his. You need evidence beyond reasonable doubt to prove that that person sexually harassed you. So speaking out early is a solution. It's not going to cost you your education in any way. In fact, what is the punishment for sexual harassment? Imprisonment. And on a lighter mode, fines. Isn't it?
Yes.
So if that is the situation, then you should speak out.
I think one of the problems.
And by the time you speak out, there will be more people giving evidence against such a lecturer. So you shouldn't keep quiet.
I think one of the problem speaking out, I think a lot of people get, what's that word?
What's that?
Stigmatized.
So,
that's
okay, yeah, I like that. The aspect of stigmatization. We're gradually growing out of that in this country because the new generation are conscious of their rights.
yes.
And that is a
Yes,
beautiful
please.
thing. Very conscious of their rights. So the issue of stigma is not there. They will speak out, say this is exactly what happened. The confidence with which they will speak out, you would know that they are innocent. So speaking out early is so important. I once had such a case.
Right.
Being the head of department, a student walked into my office and told me directly that one of the lecturers was harassing her.
Fantastic. So how did you manage it?
And being a woman, I just saw it that she saw me as a mother. She has seen me as a mentor, and she felt comfortable with me, and I believed her. So I asked her what happened, and just like as I'm telling you, it was obvious that she went into that office alone. Now, I had to talk with that lecturer. I said, this is what I'm hearing. And how true is it?
Will you admit?
He said, to be honest, these students come looking for him.
I mean, I've heard that side. I've heard that
you
side.
see the situation, I was in a dilemma.
Oh, Lord.
But in that particular
Dilemma
case,
because he didn't say there wasn't anything. He didn't say, but he is now saying they come looking for him.
come looking for you in.
They come into his office.
I've heard.
Do you understand?
I've heard this.
So as a head of department, as a mother, all I could do was to make sure that that child was protected for all the period I was heading that department. So I would ask her, is anything still happening? She would say, no, don't go into that office again. Don't go alone. And I kept on like that until I was sure she was okay. So other lecturers could do the same. Others could abandon it at some point. So that child could be in trouble. Now, even as I speak with you, I cannot be sure that that student too was not manipulating things.
So
I hope it is clear.
I know. I understand what you are saying.
So it's a difficult one. And so the best thing is prevent it from the onset. Speak out. Prevent it from the onset. If you cannot walk into the vice chancellor's office, the head of department's office, the dean's office, tell your parents or tell your guardian, they would walk in.
How much has the morals of the society collapsed to the point where if I told you that there are instances of parents even encouraging
To
Yeah,
do
that's
that?
a sad one.
you've got to get your
Okay,
grades.
good grade.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a very sad one, but you can only do the little you can. Okay, so you can only do the little you can, and you keep hoping that the system gets better.
You remember the point you raised about, I mean, in relation to these grades, the point you raised about how some students probably didn't even come to the school to study. They want to pass, right?
Yes.
So you're coming into the university and you're saying, they gave me psychology. I wanted to do this.
Medicine.
I don't have an idea. I don't have interest. I want to pass. Now, we're now talking about, one, your actions are going to affect others, but also how is the system going to protect the lecturer against those kind of people? And how, to Dami's point, is a lecturer going to make sure that he or she sees himself as a guardian? Because just because they bring fire doesn't mean you should put your hand. I mean, you won't put your hands in fire.
Yeah,
To me, it's no excuse, in fact.
over time, you would come to know yourselves within the system. You would realize that colleagues can vouch for one another. The head of department can vouch for the staff under him or her. The dean can vouch for staff. So if your hands are clean, they will most likely stand up for you. Where you are guilty, it will show. It's easy to tell. It's very, very easy to tell. There are some lecturers, you come all the time, their offices are filled up with students. What are you doing with students all the time? They are just looking for easy ways out where they will gradually begin sexual harassment. And these students also get carried away because of age, and they keep indulging until that point where the lecturer say, come alone. And when they say come alone, it doesn't ring a bell. They come alone, and those things happen. So parents have a role to play, a very major role. While orientation is being given within the institutions, parents too should be able to talk to their children from home and guide them when it is necessary to speak out. From the onset, you speak out. You don't wait until it degenerates.
But Ma, do you think that from the onset, since we are talking about evidence,
Okay.
how easy, it's more difficult to show any evidence when it just starts? Because it's your word against the person and it just started. So how can a student be assured that immediately? And when you talk about, the dean, the head of department, is it possible? Because I have heard situations where there is a carcass, where there is a manipulation of shutting it down and it doesn't get out there. Yes, you went to the course advisor, from there you went to the head of department and everything. And then you go and report, you think you're in safe hands. Meanwhile, they're friends and they will discuss it over a bottle of beer or something and it ends there. Is that also a chance? Is there also a chance of that happening?
When you report to the right quarters, okay, a setup can be arranged and recorded.
Okay.
That can be done easily.
Right.
But you've already reported, so it is obvious that you are not interested. So a setup can easily be arranged.
I really wish things were this straightforward in this country.
It can happen easily. It depends on who is managing it. It is
And
an
how do we
easy
know
thing
the
to
right
manage.
persons?
You play along
Right.
and you record the person. That's all. You have enough evidence.
So going by this recommendation now, what I want to know is, do you think that institutions, higher institutions, and of course, we should even talk about even secondary schools, do you think that the authorities do enough individually in each of these schools to mitigate this crime?
Well, it is subjective. It depends on who the vice chancellor is. It depends on the deans,
governing bodies, whatever.
all of them,
Yeah.
management, okay? So in a situation where everybody is on their toes, it's very easy to handle it. But where attention is shifted completely to other things, and this is not a major issue, then people will get away with a lot.
Now, do we have cases of female lecturers harassing male students?
Oh, you asked the question.
No, I am not on that side. I'm just asking for posterity, please.
Well, not that I know of,
Right.
but I am sure that will also exist. That will also exist.
Yes.
You know, it has to do with character. It's character now. So if you have a bad character, bad attitude, you understand, it will always happen. So that is why when I talk about sexual harassment, I say it both
Ways. Right.
So if you are disciplined, it's just that I'm sure if we should take statistics,
Oh, yes,
of
thank
course
you.
it will be more on men
Way
than on
much
women.
more.
Why?
Way
Why
much
do
more.
Yes.
men get? Why? Do,
Yes.
It's not a matter of
because
statistics. She's a
yes,
she's a doctor
if we
of
if
statistics.
we do, yes,
She's a doctor
if
of
we do,
statistics. Yeah, pull up all your cards. Yes. No
Yeah.
so
problem.
definitely to be more on
Men,
men.
I tried, but
Yes.
I'm outnumbered. I'm sorry, I tried. Anyways, I know what to do. I'm going to drop a question and run out of it.
Okay.
and
What's
leave
the question?
both of
Okay,
you.
that's okay.
So this is my question. What side are you on the argument that dressing plays a role in victims being harassed?
You cannot run out of
So,
it.
so
now.
I would say every institution is mindful of a dress code and what is acceptable. So it means that decent dressing is encouraged on every campus.
Right.
But then it doesn't give anybody
Sorry, your pitch did not work.
the
We're on the same side.
right now to say because you didn't dress appropriately,
So I must
I
touch you.
sexually harassed you.
Thank you.
It means you don't have character to
Oh
begin
God.
with. You don't have
Oh, I love
character.
this. Yes.
Okay.
Two truths can coexist.
You can
As-
look away.
Yes.
No, man.
You can look away.
You can look away.
I'm
Very
playing
simple.
Yes,
devil's
you can look
advocate.
away.
I agree
Are you
with
sure you're playing devil's advocate?
I agree with you, but I want to paint a scenario. This is
Okay.
what I always ask.
Okay.
Now, we build houses, we put fences, get a security man, get a guard dog, CCTV. Now, I'm not absolving the fact that I should be able to live in my house
Okay.
without fear of being attacked or robbed.
Yeah.
But I have also taken precaution.
Okay.
I am not saying a victim that did not dress well attracted harassment or deserves to be harassed.
Okay.
But I assure anybody, and that is theory that they can test, which is being harassed in a mini skirt and being harassed in jeans. It's two different things. It's going to take a... It's
Can you? No. But
Now-
I disagree.
What you want to say is that, you know, sexually harassing somebody that is inappropriately dressed
Makes
is
more
easier
sense.
It's easier.
than
It's easier.
the other way.
It is easier.
Yes, but I would say this, okay? The fact that you're inappropriately dressed sends an inviting message. That is true.
Okay.
Especially for somebody who is already a criminal.
I like that we are putting
Okay.
that on
Okay.
the person.
Okay.
So
Yes.
the person
This
is
person has
already
an
a
innate-
Yeah, you have to
That
You
is
have
it.
it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So the person already is
I mean, you didn't do that because she wasn't well dressed. You had it in you.
So when the person is choosing victims, the person would most likely navigate towards that person who is inappropriately dressed.
Okay.
Because he or she will do less work.
Okay. But we're establishing that whoever the perpetrator is, you are an evil person.
You are just who you are. Somebody dressing less or dressing
properly.
Irrespective.
Or she should be punished properly.
So the concept of dressing should please be. If we're advocating for dressing, let's talk about it in a different light. Yes, it's not, I don't advise dressing indecently. But I'm saying it's not an excuse. You cannot say, oh, it's because of what she was wearing.
It's
who
not
you
an
are
excuse.
is who you are.
Once again,
that's exactly what. And I want to also talk about, in as much, but just that we're being fair, we also have cases of women who come to students who come to lecturers and say, "Oh God, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
I would do anything."
But that, we've talked about.
Yes, that happens.
Yeah.
And that's why, and this thing is so powerful. This whole sexual harassment, because it translates.
They make
to
themselves
world.
readily available. Because they believe that should give me the marks I want.
Yes. And even when you get that marks, we have people who have degrees that they can't defend. Because how did you get good grades all through? Oh, it's because you slept with this person, you slept with this person. Why? I agree with all of that. So
it catches up with them later.
Yes. Because you don't study, you don't. And there's something I also want us to discuss. I don't know. Is there, of as much as we're talking about sexual harassment, the lecturer and the students, I've read that the lecturer is more likely to approach students who are struggling academically because they know they can easily be manipulated.
Again, it's subjective.
Okay.
Do you understand? It's subjective. It depends on, what motivates this person who lacks character. Do you understand? It depends. So you can't just conclude unless we have data for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay? So we can't conclude.
Do we do enough research into these kind of topics?
That's a good one. Doing research requires data. Doing research in some situations to get such data might require interviews like this, would require giving out questionnaires and expecting honest answers may not be so direct. But it is the duty of whoever is doing the research to make extra effort to, as much as possible, get
truthful,
adequate and correct data.
Right.
So I don't think in this particular area there has been enough in Nigeria. Probably around the globe we could find a good number. And that is why when you look online, you would find percentages. They could tell you like 34% of students are being harassed sexually and things like that. But within Nigeria, our cultural inclinations, our religious inclinations, affects our children. And so even coming out to speak sometimes is difficult. And that is why where a child actually speaks out, it is the duty of the lecturer or that adult who is listening, who is with that child to listen. The first thing you should do is believe that person.
Until
proven otherwise.
Yes.
Believe that person.
Yes.
Until proven otherwise.
Yes.
If you're listening,
you lack nothing.
Yes. Yes.
If you're listening and watching us, most importantly, reach out to the ICPC, info@icpc.gov.ng. A lot of people don't know that the ICPC also takes sexual harassment issues as an extremely, it's very germane to us.
It's corruption
simply
too.
because it's corruption.
Yes.
The commission comes from the angle that the power dynamic is abuse of office.
Yes.
So if you're out there and you have something to say, reach out to us, info@icpc.gov.ng. You want to throw your last question?
Is there policies, for example, in the school that you are, against, because I'm so particular about this consent thing. Is it possible for a lecturer and a student to have a consensual relationship? Or are there laws that completely bias, like this is not allowed?
Well, about the laws, I'm not sure.
Right.
But I have seen situations where a lecturer and a student actually had a nice relationship and they got married. It led to marriage.
So that's
So
a single lecturer.
No coercion.
And it's
Okay.
So that is possible.
right.
Yes.
So I like the fact that you've brought it. That's the morally accepted
Yes,
one.
morally
But
accepted.
how do we know which one is? Now, this one we can say because it ended in marriage. That's why we can say, oh, okay, at the end of the
She
day.
didn't cry.
Now, another
Does
thing
she
I
have
would
to
say,
cry?
Okay, he
this
didn't.
particular example I have given
Yes.
was not a situation where the student, the lecturer was teaching the student.
Okay.
right.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
That makes a lot
But
of
again,
sense.
it is still possible that it can happen nicely, even if that lecturer is teaching the student. I've also seen a situation where the lecturer liked the student and waited for that student to graduate.
Good.
You know what?
makes so much
I like
sense.
these examples, but
Yes.
I want to be a realist
Yeah.
for the sake of the podcast.
True.
I want us to come into the real world
Yeah.
where we have to accept that not everything is black and white.
True.
Now, her same question I'm asking, now rephrasing. Is it possible? Yes, we the laws of the land, for instance, adultery is a thing,
True.
right? However, is it possible for a student and a lecturer to be in a consensual relationship? It is not a societally accepted kind of relationship in the sense that maybe the man is married or maybe the woman is married.
But it's
but
consensual.
it's consensual. That is, the student is not a victim according to he or she.
Yeah.
Is that something that if somebody raises, there's nothing to hang anybody for, simply because a grown man and a grown woman have decided
to have a
be
relationship.
together?
So that again is character. You are married.
Right.
So why are you in
Why
that
are you having side
relationship?
chicks?
Much.
But you are not wrong to say that it is consensual.
Okay. Now I get your point.
So there we can't outrightly call it sexual harassment. These are two persons who are adults and have taken a decision to do things the wrong way.
To do things the wrong way.
And yes,
So
the
there
most
is
important
no
thing is
there is no
consent.
urgent need for speaking out here.
Yes,
Right.
there is. Yes.
But guess what? So long as that person is a lecturer to this student, you can be sure that results will be manipulated.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
they're personal.
That's why it's a
You can be
conflict of
sure.
interest. Yes.
So while it is so wrong, okay, and while it is consensual, there's really very little anybody can do.
If things go south, there is literally
Very little anybody can do.
abuse.
I
of
had
power.
a friend. I had a friend who wanted to date a girl that a lecturer liked. My guy was
you
failing.
will see Pepe.
My guy was just failing. He was just failing because the man would be
Yes,
like,
I actually
warned
have
you."
a story like this. I had a friend
Yeah.
when I was in school who a lecturer liked her and all of that stuff and was going after her. Then we had this friend, a guy in our circle. Oh,
Who
God.
liked her as well?
No, he didn't even like her, but they were so close.
Okay.
And because of that, this guy had a carryover twice in that man's course.
Yeah.
And he kept going on about what me. I was like, really? Is this how it works? So he would literally fail you because he feels like you're a threat to his closeness
Yeah,
with this
but
girl.
you see, again,
Character.
we cannot speak on what we're not sure about. You can only guess that that student is failing.
Or make assumptions, yes.
Yeah, and then we have to be careful about that as well. So we have to work on things that, we have evidence for. So
Ma,
it's
not
a very
everything that we
difficult
have
one.
evidence.
You can only go on guessing. By the time you check the scripts, you understand? Because that student who has failed can actually appeal on his results.
Yes, that's why I was coming from the
You
perspective
understand?
of targeting
So where you appeal on
vulnerable
your
students.
results,
Yep.
they go a step further. They pull out your scripts. You understand? Probably give another lecturer to mark. So he has a voice. So you don't just stop at feeling that you were victimized.
So the most important thing you're saying is speak out.
Speak out.
Speak out.
So if I am that student that I feel victimized, that because I'm close to this girl, I have gotten low grades, I'll speak out. I'm not comfortable. I'll write directly. I'll make sure I
Once
write.
you're sure of what you did.
And I'll say I wrote that exam properly.
Yes.
And I want it to be checked. No vice chancellor will see that letter and ignore. Because it's about the standard of the university.
Yeah, some of my, what do they call? Is it alma mater?
Yeah,
Alma mater. Some of them that are going to watch this podcast, they are doing like this. I know why they are doing that. Simply because in my school, when I was leaving uni, my vice chancellor entered the newspaper.
Why?
Harassment.
Like the vice chancellor.
The vice chancellor.
Yeah, very sad as well.
And it was a big deal. And like you said, it was at that point that, me too. Oh, I had a similar situation and everything, and it became a mess.
So that becomes a very sorry situation where it is the person at the top who is even, a culprit. That is a very, very difficult one. You understand? That was why when we started, I said it's subjective.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
You were talking about eradicating sexual harassment. I said, well, it depends on who is at the
Who's
top.
at the helm and how much.
Helm of affairs.
Yes, how much that person
So
cares
you see
about
how
such
difficult
things.
it is. And then I just wanted to add, I do remember using a suggestion box.
Okay.
And you wouldn't believe, this was after that experience of a student reporting to me. Nobody put anything in there.
Nobody dropped anything.
Why
Nobody
could
did.
And
And it was,
have happened?
in fact, I'm talking about a whole period of like a whole year. And you see, a suggestion box, in fact, we kept it in a location where you don't need to worry.
Nobody's going to
see you.
People are terrified of
And we
something.
move it all the time back into the office in such a way that you can feel free, just drop it and pass.
But nobody did.
Not one did I get for a period of 1 full year.
I think
it's just being
this
terrified.
part of this podcast, I think we're going to cut it out. And I think we're going to post it. And we want to find out from viewers, why don't people speak up?
Yeah.
It's been an amazing time. We're going to round up. So I want you to just, give youths, young people, lecturers, people in power to.
Okay. Sorry, I have an input from one of our,
Okay.
So to answer this question, one of our bosses said, could it be fear of victimization?
Yeah.
Yes, it could be fear that but it's anonymous, right?
It's anonymous, but we want the name of the culprit.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Do you need the name of the victim?
You need the name of the
person
culprit.
writing.
You don't need the name of the victim.
In the beginning.
Yes, but you need the name of the culprit.
Because once you put in the name of the culprit and the authorities want to take action, they're not going to take action based on...
I think that's where the fear might be coming from.
That fear should not be there. Because you see, the entire management is looking at the situation. The entire, already you have reported a case. Senate is sitting on it. Everybody is talking about it. Dean of Student Affairs, everybody is on the case. They will watch out for you. And guess what? If I'm a good student, it's not just one lecturer that is teaching me. There are several lecturers teaching me. So if I'm able to do well in like 3-4 subjects, and it's only your own course I'm failing,
right?
There is already a red flag.
Red flag.
There's a red flag, unless proven otherwise.
Amazing.
Yes. So you don't have to be afraid. And there are many lecturers amidst all of this. Okay, there are many lecturers that are formators. There are many lecturers
that are formators.
Yes, they are ready. They are mentors as well.
Okay.
You understand? By virtue of their training, over the years, they are willing to listen.
It's just to know this.
So you should know who you should speak to. It doesn't have to be the head of department. It doesn't have to be the dean. You will know that person you can run to and say, this is happening, and the person will take it up from there. The person doesn't have to be in your department.
Right.
Yes.
The person doesn't have to be in your faculty.
But how do you suggest that we find this guy? Because there was also a sexual harassment case of somebody who was a pastor, and the head, he was a dean before, then he became a head of department. You know, ideally from the outside eye, this person, he's a pastor.
So how honorable
do these
in the eyes of
students,
the society.
how do you find out somebody that you can say, okay, I can trust, and who isn't compromised? Because we can't just judge from the outlook.
Yeah.
And is there enough time for you to study them to know that, okay, I can trust this one, I can't trust this one?
The time you're going to use to study them, you use it to read your books. That is the truth.
So how do you know?
See, if you focus on your books, if you focus on doing things the right way, you see, it's like when a thief comes into a home. The thief takes a long time planning, isn't it?
Yeah.
So these culprits, isn't it, also take a long time planning. When they see that you're a focused student, they know you'll get them into trouble. They too are afraid.
Yes.
So the time you use to study a lecturer, to know, oh God, use it on your books.
Take yourself out from the possibilities of
They
those.
too are watching and they say, this student is very serious. In fact, some of them know that I can't fail this student. Because
exactly what I was talking
this
about,
student is good.
vulnerability. Yes. Yes.
So it's, I will call it a disorder.
Right.
Okay? It's a terrible disorder that apart from imprisonment, they need rehabilitation.
Yes. They need to go to rehab.
I'm telling you the truth.
Yes.
That's a new one.
That is the truth.
Yes.
Because by the time children are kept under your care for education,
You're not able to control yourself.
you are not able to control yourself. And these things start playing out. It's not a normal thing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an amazing episode. I just want you to give us, a few gold nuggets before we leave.
So gold nuggets to students,
Yep.
speak out. Gold nuggets to parents, be friends with your children and be willing to go all out with them. Gold nuggets to the lecturers, build your character. Thank you.
Yes. Amazing. I'll let you close, but before that, like I said, subscribe, follow us, like, share. We're at EthicsPod across all social media, as well as ICPC Nigeria on all social media. Over to you, Delectable Dami.
Yes,
close
please.
it up.
We had a slogan. Why don't we always use it?
Okay, so let's teach.
What's the first one, Seth?
Live the legit
Life. It's all
no lose guard.
No lose guard.
Yes, the legit life.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
So it's
How
all
do we
about
say?
the legit life.
We'll start with saying no lose guard.
Yeah, we say it's all about the legit
Okay.
life, and we'll let our guests say no lose guard.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, so it's all about the legit life.
No lose guard.
Yes,
lose
so
guard.
we'll see you all in our next episode. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.